Well, 3 set-piece goals. That's the story of the London derby today between Arsenal and Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium. The Gunners were able to edge that. It was a tough game for the Gunners, I must admit, but they were able to beat Chelsea by 2-1 to stay clear, 5 points at the top of the Premier League log. Now, for Chelsea, it's getting from bad to worse for them because last time out, they played a 1-0 draw against Burnley at Stamford Bridge, and they were expected to bounce back in today's game away to Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. And then, of course, they conceded a first-half goal through William Saliba. They got an equalizer before the end of the first half through corner kick as well. And then later in the second half, Jurgen Timber scored a second goal for Arsenal to make it 2-1 for the Gunners. Now, for Chelsea, they are gradually becoming red card FC because they got their 7th red card of the season today against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Remember the first leg, the reverse fixture played earlier this season at Stamford Bridge. Moises Caicedo got a red card, and today it was the turn of Pedro Neto, their winger, who they signed from Wolverhampton Wanderers 2 years ago. He got a red card after getting a second yellow card for his tackle on Gabriel Martinelli. They got a red card, and of course they lost that game by 2-1. For Arsenal, they must be very happy with these results. They must be very happy because they needed to win that game to continue their winning streak. They are top of the Premier League table. Manchester City on Saturday defeated Leeds United by a lone goal. It was not a pretty performance by the Gunners, but they had to manage to win that game, beating Chelsea by 2-1. I'm very sure Arsenal fans are very excited. The manager, Mikel Arteta, is excited. And just like Jurgen Timber said, well, in games like this, you just have to win. This is the business end of the season where every point you win or you drop will count at the end of the season. I'm very sure Manchester City fans were really very happy when Chelsea thought that they scored a late equalizer, but that goal was chalked off because, of course, it was an offside goal. So congratulations to Arsenal for that 2-1 victory over Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium. For Chelsea, it doesn't get easier for them. They are playing against Aston Villa on Wednesday in the Premier League. For Arsenal, they play away to Brighton at the Amex Stadium. And for Manchester City, they play at home to Nottingham Forest. So the Premier League is becoming intense, it's becoming interesting, it's becoming tough as well. But of course, Arsenal still top, 5 points ahead of Manchester City. But I must say that they have played a game more than Manchester City. So City have an outstanding game. If they get to win that game, they reduce the gap between themselves and Arsenal to just 2 points. And then a lot will still happen. For Arsenal, well, they played against Tottenham Hotspur, they played against Chelsea. Their toughest game right now, they've played those 2 games, but they have a game against Manchester City. That will be in April. For Manchester City, they are still going to play against Chelsea. They play against Aston Villa. They play against Newcastle United. So if you look at it on paper right now, Manchester City have more tougher fixtures than Arsenal. But don't forget, the Premier League is the Premier League. Anything is possible. Remember some weeks ago, Arsenal went to the Molineux. They were expected to win that game. They scored 2 goals and then they considered 2 goals, ended 2-2 between Wolverhampton Wanderers and Arsenal. So no easy game in the Premier League. There are no easy games in the Premier League. That tells you that, well, you need to be at your best to win games. So congratulations to Arsenal once again for beating Chelsea. The 3rd time they were beating Chelsea this season in all competitions. Yes, they faced Chelsea 4 times this season. Played a 1-0 draw at Stamford Bridge in the first Premier League game. Then in the Carabao Cup semi-finals, they beat Chelsea both home and away. And then the reverse fixture in the Premier League, they were beating Chelsea once again. So Liam Rossinier has lost 3 times already to Arsenal, 2 in the EFL Cup, and of course once in the Premier League. For Chelsea, their next Premier League game is against Aston Villa. So they must start picking points because Manchester United, Liverpool, Aston and other teams fighting for the Champions League spots, they are doing very well. And of course, Chelsea must also find a way of returning back to winning ways. But hey, 7 red cards for Chelsea this season, and that's not good enough. They need to improve on that. I mean, there's no way if you get sent off, you put yourself in a very difficult position. And that was what happened today against Arsenal. Pedro Neto got a red card and they had to defend with their life. Arsenal, well, kudos to David Raya, the goalkeeper of Arsenal, because they almost got an equalizer. Talking about Chelsea, but I must say that David Raya is one of the reasons why Arsenal won that game today against Chelsea at the Emirates. Congratulations to Arsenal for beating Chelsea. Well, the job is not done. They still got some very tough fixtures ahead of them. Will Arsenal be able to get over the line? Will Manchester City catch up on Arsenal? Anything is possible. We are going to wait till the end of the season. One thing I'm very sure is that this Premier League title race between Arsenal and Manchester City we go down the wire. Maybe the Premier League champions will emerge on game week 30. That's the last game of the season. So you need to wait till last game of the season because Manchester City, they are chasing Arsenal. They are waiting if Arsenal will sleep. Arsenal, they are trying to hold on to their lead at the top of the table. Who gets the title at the end of the season? Only time will tell. Like, share, comment, and of course, we'll be willing to hear from you.